everybody, it's Brett Hickman with SerraToyota. Thanks for joining us with our ongoing series of our virtual vehicle walkarounds. Today, a lot of you, as we shoot this, probably woke up to a really cold morning. I know it said 14 on my thermostat. Some of you may even had a little bit colder. So I decided to dig into something that's really hot. The Scion lineup, the TC. The TC, a Toyota Coupe, has been a huge success. I drive one myself. And like all Scions, you can expect the best features on every one of them. It's called mono-spec. You don't have to worry about entry level, so limited. When you buy a Scion, including the Scion TC, you're going to get all the nice features and the best features. I'm going to go over this vehicle with you, and again, after we go over the vehicle, if there's anything that I missed that you wanted to hear more about, please let us know. I can go over the vehicle, maybe features in the vehicle, whatever the case may be. Just let us know in the comment section. All right, I'm going to first start at the front of the Scion TC, and we're going to talk about what's inside here. This is actually the Camry 4-cylinder engine. It's a 2.5 liter dual overhead cam engine. It's quite powerful. You don't get the 4-cylinder noise that you get with the smaller 4-cylinders or the 4-cylinders of yesterday. Toyota is king of the 4-cylinders, and they've certainly shown their skill and expertise in this engine. It's been a huge success. In the Camry, it can achieve great gas mileage, close to 40 miles a gallon with great output, and it really does shine in the Scion TC. It's been retooled a little bit for more of a sporty experience. So you're going to have some of the sports noise from the exhaust system and such. So, with that being said, this engine is well proven, time and chain. You're not going to have to worry about replacing a timing belt. As all Scions and Toyotas and Lexus, this comes with the Star safety system. You're going to get the ABS, which pulsates all 4 brakes faster than humanly possible. You're going to get the brake assist, which essentially applies full brake force before you have the speed to do so. You'll have electronic brake distribution. The vehicle can actually sense different weight loads. If you have groceries in the back, to occupants, to just single occupant, it can detect that and distribute the brake force to each individual tire as needed. Also is the vehicle stability control. It has been rated as the #2 lifesaver in vehicle accidents, next to seat belts. Vehicle stability control, in essence, will help you maintain your intended path after making maybe erratic maneuvers to avoid obstacles or going around corners too fast. It can help adjust for that by controlling the engine output and apply brakes as necessary. Also, it has traction control, which will prevent the wheels from spinning on a slippery takeoff when you accelerate quickly. And the final and the newest component of the Star safety system is Smart Stop. If anything, for an object gets the gas pedal stuck and you touch the brakes, it'll actually reduce the engine output to more of an idle RPM, around or below 1,000 RPM. So your engine's not peaking, and you can also make a control stop, put it in park, and get the object unlodged, and you can go about your way, all safely done. Okay, so you're going to notice a really aggressive looking front end. It kind of has a look of a snake with the eyes and the mouth. I think it's a really cool look. I know originally, and I'm sure that this is remained the same because but the whole front windshield through the side windshields is designed to kind of look like a racer's helmet, the visor. And I think that's really neat looking. Also, you're going to get your blinkers in your side mirror. I know when I've driven a TC, and at night when you have somebody sitting right beside you and you have somebody in front of you, and nobody's really making headway, and maybe they're going under the speed limit. When you put this light on, it really does let the person next to you know that you intend to make a lane change. And I've had several people back off at that point and let me go. So I really enjoyed that. Also, it's got a breakaway feature where you can fold the mirror. I actually had a tree in the road and was unable to see it due to the fact that there was no lights on a very secluded road. And it was in the other lane, but some of it was sticking over in my lane and hit my mirror, and my mirror actually gave way to it. Something I would have never thought about having this feature, but it's really designed to get into tighter spaces if necessary, or if you're concerned maybe about your mirrors getting hit when backing up out of a small enclosure. Well, another thing that the TC they've added is the LED lights in the front. That comes standard with all Scion TCs. And at nighttime, especially when you're making a corner in the dark, you can really see those things lasering out, and they really help see what maybe the headlights are not getting closer to the ground. So I really like that feature. You'll notice across the top is it's a complete panoramic sunroof. The whole portion right here will go back, and then you have this portion will come up and act as your wind deflector. What's really neat is there's also a retractable shade for the back occupants, so they can see outside too. It's really neat. And when you have both of them open like that, it really provides a sense of openness. But you don't have to have a convertible, and you get the safety of more of a hard top. All right, now we've moved to the rear of the vehicle. There's some really nice features back here too. One, you're going to notice that there are LED tail lights. LEDs are so much better over filament. They last 15 years before they burn out. They light up about a half second faster than a filament bulb. That may not seem very important, but the faster your speed travel, the more reaction time that actually gives people behind you. At 60 miles per hour, it can be as much as 10 extra feet. And that's a huge safety, especially if you've had somebody rear end you. That can be a really important feature. Also, they've changed the back end. They've given more of a light down here that's like the FRS that we have, that's pioneered kind of that look. You'll see that as we eventually go over the FRS. But unlike the FRS, it's not a working light, it is a reflector. Just like we have the reflectors and the valances on the side here. That may not seem like very, like it's a huge deal, but if you've ever had one of these parked on a road and with the reflectors and you're coming down the road and your headlights hit it, it's as if they're lit up and you can really see it. So you as an owner can know if you are forced or have to, maybe the way your house is, or apartment, you have to park them on the road, and you can be sure that people can see it when they're coming down the road at you. I like the small antenna, the low profile. It's really powerful and it looks good. We go into the hatch here. You can see I've let the seats down. You have a ton of room. I've actually moved a lot of stuff in my Scion TC, and you would be shocked how much you can get in there. And one thing that I like about all Toyotas and Scions is the full-size temporary spare tire. It's the same circumference of the regular tires. It's just not the same width. So what that does is, being that it's not a donut and it's a full size, it will allow all the safety features to respond appropriately. And you get a couple extra things like tie downs. A lot of people love to put front license plates, customized license plates on the front of their vehicle. And this is your tow hook. I've actually had to use that in snow to get pulled up a very steep hill. This is not a 4x4. You also have a light that you can turn on, and it really at night really does shine in here well. And you can leave that light on like a dome light. Once you close the hatch, it will actually turn off. So I leave mine on. And they've made room for a privacy shade if you'd like to add that to one of your accessories. And you have a nice little handle you can grab in here. Now this is has a plain back end, so to speak. They do make a lip spoiler, which looks really great. So let's go check out the rest of the vehicle. All right, one thing I want to point out is the Scion TC comes with alloy wheels. So you won't get, there's no, like I said, it's monospec, so this is what you can expect every time. There may be a upgraded alloy wheel, like a TRD or something like that, but you're always going to get an alloy wheel with a Scion TC. This is 18 inches, low profile, and looks really good. I've enjoyed mine, and it handles fantastic. Okay, now I want to go into the interior of the vehicle and show you some of the nice features that you're going to get. In here you're going to get a leather-wrapped steering wheel, a leather-wrapped shift knob, whether it's manual or automatic, which is a 6-speed automatic transmission and a 6-speed manual transmission, whichever way you go. With the automatic, you will have the option to use a sequential shifting, which will let you manual shift with either the stick or with paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, so you can upshift and downshift even without a clutch, and it's automatic. That can be done on the fly. It can go switch back and forth if you want, but it's a great win. And with the extra gear in the transmission at higher speeds, that's going to get you reduced RPMs, and it's going to get you better gas mileage. So let's go in and see what I'm talking about. Now with the Scion TC, you'll have the ability to make the seat go up and down. You also have tilt and telescopic steering. You have audio controls on the steering wheel, and you also have a touchscreen audio. It's going to give you Bluetooth, and it will put 2,500 contacts in there, and it has a talk button, and you can tell it who you want to call. So if you have John Smith in there, you say, call John Smith on mobile, and it will call John Smith on mobile with no problem. It will know that, and you do not have to go in and pre-program you saying that person's voice. So that's a huge win. Not all automakers, I'm not sure if any does that. I know that some of our competitors, you do have to go in and say the name, and only store sometimes as little as 1,000 contacts. You will have a USB port and auxiliary port. The USB port's been upgraded to USB 2.0. That's faster data transfer, and it's also going to actually charge your phone instead of just maintaining it on its current level as it's under heavy use. With the Bluetooth feature, not only can you make phone calls, but you can also stream your music straight through the radio, and it sounds fantastic. So they've made huge upgrades too in the speakers. It sounds a lot better than when they introduced in 2011, and as Toyota is always doing, is striving for improvement. You're going to have a handbrake, as you find in most kind of coupes. Now, I want to show you this feature right here. When you lift this to allow somebody back in to into the back, it actually has a memory setting. It's going to go straight to where I just had it, and then I can put it back. So no matter where I put the seat, it will go back exactly where I had it. I love that. You don't have to readjust your seat when you get back in. If you will take a look in the back, I have lifted the seats back up so you can see how it looks back there. If you'll notice, one seat is actually reclined a little further than the other. So the rear seats not only fold flat, but they also recline like a front seat. You'll notice too that on the side armrest on each side, there's 2 cup holders. So even the occupants will have a place to put drinks, and that's a really nice feature. And if you'll notice that right here, there's the seats really went forward really far. So that's going to give somebody easy access to the back. It's easy to have a child back here, where some people have to give up a 2-seater because of having a baby. You might not have to do so with this. And you got a complete flat floor, so that really helps with the leg room. You do have the child seat anchors in the back, so it's really safe. And you have the knee airbags, the side airbags, and you have the curtain airbags in all the way around. So you have more airbags than your competitors as well. You'll have remote keyless entry, power windows, power locks, and you'll have cruise control, variable intermittent windshield wipers, and you have a locking glove box. I mean, there's just so many features about this car, and you pay a really great price. Price ranges anywhere from 19 to 22, with some special releases coming out a little more than that. But when you see what's on them, it's amazing that it's still that little. This car could probably easily be sold if it was branded under somebody else is around $30,000. So come down and check it out and drive one. I think you'll really love it. I know one thing that I really love about mine is the electric power steering. It actually has no power steering pump, belt, or fluid controlled electronically, and it can control the steering output. So it can actually take away or give you steering assistance depending on the cornering and the speed you're going. So that dynamic really can add a fun experience to the driving experience of this car. Well, I hope that gives you a great overview of the Scion TC and answers you any questions, and maybe you learned something. Again, as we always say, leave any comments in the comment section that you want us to go back over. Maybe you want me to show you how you hook up your Bluetooth to your Scion TC. All right, well, you have a wonderful day. Thanks from everybody at SerraToyota.